I didn't do nothing. He worked for it, you know. He worked his butt for it, so.
How impressed were you with his performance?
Oh, very impressed. He landed a lot of good shots. He okay. I was very impressed. You know, he listened well. He didn't panic. And he threw shots that he usually doesn't throw, like body shots. And he mixed up the body shots with, you know, with the headshot. So I was very impressed with that. And then his takedown defense. He got taken down on the first one, but after his first takedown, he was able to defend most of the takedown. Hey, you joining me in Japan, right?
I am.
Congratulations, EJ.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You as well.
Okay, just jump in, guys.
Could you sit next to each other with it? Come on, get close.
Saw this man work out the other day in the training room. I was like, my God, that's a big athlete. Phenomenal athlete.
DJ, would you say you struggled a bit there? Or, you said you couldn't get your game going.
I think it's so hard, you know, when you look at Tatsumitsu Wada's previous fight when he fought Ballard, he took a different approach to fighting him. He kind of hunkered down his weight, not his weight, his height, and he ran a lot. He would circle away from Ballard, and so going into this fight, we knew he was going to circle away. And obviously fighting Yuya Wakamatsu, they obviously had, you know, already fought one of their athletes, and so they knew that me being a shorter fighter, I had to cross the distance to get to him. And I was a little more content in the clinch area when he had my arm like this because he wasn't throwing any knees and I was landing more knees in that exchange. And then in the first round when he got my back and I was like, good for you. And so when he had my back, I was shocked at how long his legs were when I was trying to entangle him. And that was the biggest thing is how long he was. I wasn't just used to that. Like the last time I fought a guy who was, you know, that tall was Miguel Torres, and that was back in 2011. I was still trying to get adjusted to the height difference, you know, obviously coming over from my previous ventures, you know, I'm fighting guys who are 5'3", 5'4", not guys who are 5'8", and 5'9".
Eddie looked visibly relieved when he won. How relieved were you when you got your hand raised?
I mean, I was happy, but at the same time, like I expect more for myself. Like I train so hard, I'm looking for the finish. You know, when I had his back, and I believe in the third round, I was trying to throw him up to throw him in my arm bar. But once again, you know, 5'3", throwing up a dude who's 5'8", I got a lot of ground to cover. And even when we were talking it back, we shared a moment against each other, not against each other, with each other, talking about, you know, he said, you know, that's my favorite move, I got you in. And I was like, yeah, I was content there because you weren't doing that. Like, I was landing the body shot, so I was okay you having that move. So it was fun.
You said you didn't really get in your groove. Have you felt like that before in a fight?
No, that was it was just the first time. Like, when I'm in there fighting, like, I'm not even fighting, I'm like analyzing the whole situation instead of just going out there just to fight. I think in the second round, like, that's when I kind of got in my groove, and he was like just doing a good job of holding me. Like when I passed guard, he would hold me down, and there was one part when I got in side control, he literally had his arms around me, and I was like this, and I was slamming him, trying to get my arms free so I could start doing my submission game. But it just was a very methodical fight.
You told me as well in the week you don't feel like you can reach your full potential without Matt Hume in your corner. With a bit of a struggle in the first round, would it have benefited you a lot more if you'd had him in your corner, do you think?
Possibly, because Matt knows how to get to me, you know what I mean? Like, he knows, we've been doing this for so long, you know, and now I feel like back in my amateur days where Matt would sit there and watch me fight, to where in the previous past, like, you think about it, when Aung La Nsang fights, he has his master in the corner. For me, it's like a different evolution of the athlete where it's like, you get to train with your master, but you don't get to have him in your corner. And so, but it's the road I've chosen to take, and it's a fun experience, you know, like, after I'm done with my career, but like, you know, I was, at the very beginning of my career as amateur, Matt sat there and watched me, and then eventually he got in my corner, and we, you know, went on an amazing streak, and now Matt's not in the corner, he's sitting there watching, and, you know, Matt will be like, okay, this, and I'm learning, right? Like, I'm learning, I'm teaching myself, and before the fight, Matt says, you have to go out there and solve the puzzle. That's what you got to do. Now it's you can fight. There's no problem with that, but you have to solve the puzzle on your own. Your teammates are going to do a good job to help you solve the puzzle, but you, in the middle of the fight, have to solve it. So I'm doing all this, and that's what I mean. When I'm fighting, I'm analyzing. Like when he got my back, I'm like, good for you. Okay. Then I'm trying to get my legs and I was like, God, your legs, they're long. Oh my goodness. And I turn around, I'm like, oh, that hurts my rib. I was like, oh man. So that's what's going on in my mind in the fight. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna get choked out. No. I'm like analyzing what's going on, and that might be why I can't get in my group, because I'm sitting there focusing on like what's going on, and I can repeat every single minute of the fight, like what happened, and then yeah.
One website this wrote.
I'm talking all the time, but
I think one website this week wrote that the flyweights in one championship were a lot bigger than they are in the UFC. What's your take on that?
bigger.
Yeah.
I would say so. Just because, you know, the guys over in North America are 5'2", 5'3", you know. I mean, the top of the heap in those divisions is, you know, Henry Cejudo, Jose Benavidez. I mean, those guys were all the same. Like Kyoji Horiguchi, same height. Now, like I said, I'm fighting guys who are 5'7", like Adrian Moraes. I think he's like 5'10". So, like, there's no way he will make 125 pounds. I mean, I walk around 135, 137 pounds. So I'm literally fighting at my actual weight. These guys, they might be walking around 145, then they diet, they make that. So I'm truly walking around what I'm fighting at, which is 135. Next question.
DJ, you will fight Danny Kingad in the finals of the Grand Prix. Speaking of analyzing, what did you see in him that you will potential and what are his strengths?
Well, I think obviously it's no secret Danny Kingad is a great striker on his feet, and him and Reese McLaren had a great back and forth battle in the grappling department. So obviously I can't give my analysis because I'm not out there. Obviously Reese McLaren was really trying to force that grappling, and I felt like, you know, if Reese would have did a couple of things different, I think he would have had more success, but he didn't.
So in general, how was it like finally fighting in front of Filipinos after?
Oh man, it was awesome. Y'all are amazing. The fans were amazing, but it was fun, man. I mean, the crowd was awesome. I mean, it's just a whole different perspective over here. Like people, I mean, they cheer whether they win or lose. I mean, Edward Furlong went out there, gave it his all, and you know, when I see him, he doesn't even look like he lost. He's just like, yeah, it happens, you know. I mean, we're all in this sport and we love it. And some days we have good days and some days we have bad. And not one person, I haven't heard one person say, "You suck, Edward." And that's just not the, you know, the mentality over here. And that's what I love about it.
To the double champ, Aung La Nsang. Just two questions. Did you talk to Brother Vera tonight? And how is your preparation for your upcoming bout going?
I haven't seen him. I saw his wife and his trainer, and I shook hands and said hi to them. Preparation's going well. As you can see, I'm a lot bigger than the last time you saw me. I'm gained about I'm about 228 pounds right now, and that's before starting camp. And by the time I'm done with training camp, I'll probably be around 220 and be in good shape by then.
Just to follow up on that, you're facing arguably the toughest challenge in your career in Brandon Vera, who's the heavyweight champion. How's it like preparing for someone like Vera, a bigger guy?
Very motivated for this. I'm a big fan of Brandon Vera, so it gives me a lot of motivation. And also, we have a lot of training partners his size, so it's not an issue. I have guys his size. I have guys that are heavier than him. I have guys that are taller than him, and I spar with them and train with them on a daily basis. So it shouldn't be a problem.
So what do you think is your advantage against Brandon?
Advantage, durability, my heart, and probably I've had more fights than him in one championship. In the last 1 year, I've had more fights than him probably in his last 3 years. That's going to be my edge.
Yeah, for DJ, was there a significant difference performing inside a ring instead of a cage? And moving forward, which would you prefer to fight?
To be honest, I spent more time in a ring in my whole entire career than actually in a cage. I know that might come as a shock to a lot of people. So You know, I've always spent more time in a ring than actually in a cage. So when I get ready to compete in a cage, I'll just train in an open space and mat. So, you know, honestly, it doesn't really matter to me. I mean, with this fight, I feel like a ring caters more to my striking ability, but I just couldn't get there tonight. So it was more of a grappling exchange tonight. So it didn't make any difference.
So does that mean having the fight in a ring favored you the most?
It just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where I fight. It never matters. Like, obviously, you know, if I get to the point where I can let my hands go and just go and track my opponent down, then maybe I might favor the ring. But honestly, there's just no difference. I couldn't tell you guys, like, man, there was a huge difference in me competing inside a ring tonight. It was nice. I liked the white. It looked good. It was very nice.
Nick, you're up.
DJ, could I just first get your thoughts on Eddie's win and Aung La? Did you see David Duke's win?
No, I'm in the locker room, so I didn't see that.
Yeah, he won the title.
Nice. No, how did he win?
Second round, knocked him down 4 times. I don't really understand that way, but knockout there.
Awesome, amazing.
Is that our thing?
No, it's a middleweight. It's the Burmese traditional middleweight.
Oh, okay.
Where you can headbutt and
Oh, the real deal. I see. Okay.
No gloves.
No gloves. I ain't about that life.
Do we have like last 2 questions or last question?
Okay, just
for
go.
you?
Yeah. I felt the Eddie Alvarez fight. I thought he did an amazing. You know, Eddie's always had. It's no secret that he gets, you know, in a little trouble when he gets in his fights. He dated back to his Bellator days, even his, you know, when he competed in the UFC, and even to this, you know. But he looked good. He battled through adversity, got on top, and got Edward Furlong where he is in his strong suit, and was able to get that rear naked choke from the back. So Eddie looked great, and boom, you know, now he's going to the finals. So me and him will compete in Japan October 13th, and it should be good.
Thank you.
How are you going to celebrate your win?
Well, I'm gonna go back to the hotel and chill and relax and go home and see my children. And I gotta get right back into training camp, so it's not like, you know, I get, you know, a little time off, right? I think if after this fight in October 13th, whether I win or lose, I'm gonna take some time. You know, 3 fights in a year. I haven't done that since I was like 23 years old.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
DJ, since you're in the Grand Prix and you're going to, you might win the Flyweight Championship, do you plan also to get the championship on the lower weight class to your natural 120?
Oh God, no. God, no, I couldn't make that. I don't know how those guys do it, you know. Obviously, I think I'm a little more dense than the straw weight, I believe they're called. The straw weight's the 125 class. I can't make that hydrated, and I won't try to. Like I said, I'm in my stage of career where I'm not having a good time and just competing. Like there's no reason for me to try to suck all that weight and try to make weight and make 125. I can make 125, but 125 hydrated, I'm not gonna try to play that game. My health is way more important to me than trying to make a weight class so I can fight guys who are 5'2", 5'3".
What are your thoughts about John Lineker signing in one championship?
I think it's great. I think it's great. I think John Lineker is a great athlete. He'll be competing at the bantamweight division 145. So I think it'll be a great athlete to add to the roster. You know, fights against him and Kevin Bellingham sound amazing. Bibiano taking on John Lineker sounds amazing. So I think he'll fit right in. So I think it's a good person to have to roster. I'll get no one. You can ask him.
DJ, we will have a first ever esports Tekken tournament in one festival 1 week before your fight in Tokyo. So do you want to join that?
I haven't played Tekken. Last time I played Tekken 7, my coach not even beat the living hell out of me. So I need to go freshen up my Tekken 7. I want to play with those guys. Those guys are absolute animals, like esports athletes. They've been putting as much time in gaming that I had in mixed martial arts. So I respect their craft, and it's something I can't be like, oh, I'm going to compete with the best in the world in Tekken 7. No, but I will definitely be there, depending on how my schedule goes. I'm definitely going to be there and very excited for the One Esports first event in Tokyo, Japan. So, thank you guys.
DJ.
You got a small?
Yeah.
Good man.